Welcome to Juggling Interviews. This episode is brought to you by eJuggle, the IJA's official online publication, where you can find the latest juggling news, articles, videos, and podcasts, just like this one. If you want to check that out, you can head over to their website at juggle.org/ejuggle, or with the link in the description. This episode is also sponsored by Play Juggling. On their website, you can find high-quality props like balls, clubs, rings, diablos, poise, fire equipments, flower sticks, glow props, and tons more. Head over to playjuggling.com and use my code XavJuggles, XavJuggles, to get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support me, so thank you a lot, Play Juggling. Now let's get to the episode. So hi everyone, welcome back to Juggling Interviews. Today I'm super happy to receive Tamuz Vardi. How are you doing, Tamuz?
Great. How are you, Xavier?
I'm doing very good. As you know, we have different time zones, and we scheduled this in the morning. I just woke up. I'm super glad to have this with you today. Um, I'm crazy glad. How was your day so far?
Great. Actually, I've been to work. I'm still in work. This is in my office, and I'm going right after to a wedding. So it's like
Ooh,
afternoon here. Yeah, it will be fun, I'm sure.
I'm super curious to get to know this about you. You have crazy good juggling technique, and you've been hitting some of the craziest tricks I've ever seen. I'm very curious, how did you get introduced to juggling, and when did you learn to juggle at first?
Uh, okay, so I first got introduced to juggling on 2013, probably. Um, it's a super random story. My parents looked for something to do in the holiday. Like in April we have Passover, and there's 5 days of holiday from school, and my parents looked for attractions, and there was the whatever festival, we don't know what it is, in a super cool venue in Israel. So they decided to go there, and apparently it was a juggling convention, like the Israeli
Ooh.
juggling convention. We didn't know what juggling is or anything about the convention back then. We went there, like we are four brothers. We went there, the four of us with my parents, and we went for the venue. It is camping based, so like 5 days of river and festival. And at some point there were the games, which we've seen like tons of jugglers doing super cool stuff, and asked our parents to buy some juggling props for us, and that's how we were introduced the first time to juggling. So through the convention.
That's super crazy. It's the
Oh
best
yeah,
place. Like, you see the coolest people. You see the people around in your town or whatever. I don't. Were you living far from it? Or no? Right. You said
no,
it was the first thing you saw. Yeah. Right. That's kind of crazy. You just go to a
yeah,
local festival. You don't know what it is, and you see a crazy good local jugglers.
yeah, true. And
What a good way to get introduced.
yeah, it used to be like all the Israeli community with tons of guests. So the first juggler I've seen in my life are like Bar Moalem and Ofek Snir and Sagi Bracha and these kind of people are my first introduction to juggling.
It's hard to top it off from there. You start from the top, and then you meet all the other people. No, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
But
I think
it's
it wasn't peak Ofek. It
do
was young
what?
Ofek, so
Younger
it
Ophic, yeah.
wasn't peak Ofek. It was young Ofek. So
But 2013
we got
Ophic
a little,
was probably still good, no?
yeah.
2013
It
Ophic,
used to be like 7 up 720s kind of stuff.
yeah. Oh my god,
15.
yes. But yeah. Did you learn the cascade and juggling tricks in the festival?
Yeah, so my first cascade was like I got about 20 catches of three balls in the festival for the first time. Um, Actually, I had a brother who was super talented. He qualified five in the festival while getting also his first three ball solid cascade there,
Wow.
um, in the same 5 days. Um, and then like we got balls and went back home and started practicing right after.
But then I'm curious, are your brothers still juggling today, or are you the only one that continued from the festival?
Uh, the super talented, not at all. He stopped at qualifying five back then. The other one used like kind of still juggles, not practicing, but attends IJC and is really good with Fight Night. Um, he used to juggle like 50 catches of 7, which is
Yeah.
solid juggler.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. So something if you ever get to bring kids to a festival, you have a better chance at people sticking to a skill if you bring them to juggling, because I feel like as soon as you start three balls, people get addicted to like getting to know their other tricks, and you might as well get
yeah,
a five ball qualifier like your brother, which is crazy. Five ball qualifier, I think
yeah,
took me a full year to get. Think.
yeah, sorry. It's common, I guess. The making it in like 5 days was broken.
And from there, from the festival, do you remember having either looking on YouTube videos, looking on the internet, or seeing stuff on the TV? Do you remember your inspirations in juggling from there?
Yeah, yeah, of course. So right after the convention, I had a friend from my city who was a crazy good juggler. His name is Adam Aluma. He stopped juggling like not a lot after, but he used to be very good, and he taught me most of the basics of, let's say, until starting 7 balls. Um, I've been there, like I've been practicing with him about 3 times a week for at least a year or even a little bit more. Um, then I joined the youth circus for 3 months, I guess, and I didn't really like the format there, so I stopped going there
Mm.
very soon. And we started making weekly meetings in Tivan in my city, of all the jugglers from the city, and it was pretty big and very stable. Like every week on Tuesday, we were meeting about 5 to 10 people, and we've been practicing together, which was super cool. And regarding external inspiration, we had mainly YouTube, of course. It was the YouTube era of juggling. Um, I've been inspired mostly by, I guess, the Norwegians.
Mm.
I like their style the most, and of course Ofek, which I'm still trying to mimic his. Like I'm very much inspired by his style and his tricks and goals back then, and his practice structure and everything. Um, and like everything back then, the juggling community there was super strong with YouTube, so we were following together, me, Adam, and Liri, every YouTube video anyone posted, and
And
we had
also
like
I feel like the 2010 to 2018 was like the golden era of like the YouTube videos. People used to do long format videos with a bunch of people, and like even some of my favorite videos to rewatch is just the all the Norwegians, like the Hovard videos and the Oh Snap and all that kind of the even corrections is one heck of a video. Like it's all these videos are just so nostalgic, even though I wasn't a juggler when these were posted, but I got to know them as soon as I started juggling, and they're so
yeah,
nostalgic to me. I link them to the great starts, and like seeing. I think these videos are like the first time you get stars in your eyes watching a video, and you get hyped because wow. Oh yeah.
in the long format works so good. Like it
Yeah,
makes it
right?
super interesting, super motivational. Also,
Yeah.
you meet like when there was corrections first released. Um, on Insta, I would watch the if you post anything on Insta, I would watch it alone, like here in my office or something. But back then it was events like,
Mm.
oh shit, we have Gumball released. Let's meet up together on Saturday and watch it, everyone. Or corrections, exactly the same. So it used to be like a community thing we do together. We are excited for. We don't watch trailers to make it surprise.
And I'm super curious to know how you structure your practice sessions, because I feel like you have such a rigorous style, and your juggling it feels like very clinical, and your technique is insanely good, and I feel that's how you get to land these crazy tricks. And if people didn't know you before, please type up the username I put on the screen, and look up some tricks on Instagram. You'll be mind blown, and you'll see why I'm asking that, because everyone wants to know the kind of practice sessions you might have. You got to give us some of the secrets to get the perfect technique like you do.
Uh, First of all, thanks for like multiple compliments there. About my practice structure, it changed 2 times drastically in the last like maybe year and a bit. So I'll separate it to 3 different answers. Like a year and a half ago, it used to be super structured style of I go over everything I know, like tons of 3-ball pirouettes, tons of 5-ball pirouettes, tons of 5-ball side swaps. I kind of went over all of them. It used to be maybe 2 hours warm up or something until I get to the actual tricks I want to practice. Let's say like 37-ball 5-ups, 37-ups every practice. Then I asked the OFAC if he can guide me through his practice structure a bit more than a year ago, and he told me he's doing way less of the same trick and a lot of variations. So I changed it again drastically to I do every variation of any trick I know once, which means let's say 5 balls, 5-up into 6-4-5, 6-4-5, and then 7-4-4, 7-5-3, all over side ups, and then after finishing everything with 360, I'll go everything with 720, and then everything with 1080, like the same connections. And after finishing all of them, I'll go to either 6 or 7, and again go over all of them, getting each of them once.
Okay.
That used to be the previous structure, which again changed now because I kind of practice a bit less since I moved to Tel Aviv like half a year ago and started working full time. Before that, I practiced most of the day, and now I try to be a bit more effective. So I warm up shorter. I don't go over all the tricks. I go for new stuff a lot faster. Um, so it's mainly like body warm up, some 360s, some 720s, sometimes 1080s, some body throws, all kinds of overheads, back crosses kind of stuff, and directly to 7. And since then, I'm practicing almost only 7.
Okay. And are you practicing for a specific thing at the moment? Do you have different connections you're trying to hit?
I'm trying to be solid with most stuff, so I'm getting like a list of tricks every day, which I mostly don't get, like not most of the days at least. And some long-term goals like the DB world record kind of stuff. I really want the 7-up 1080, but I'm not working on this stuff enough. For this 7-up 1080, I feel like my style is getting the 7-up 720 every day. Sometimes multiple ones a day, but at least once a day, once a practice. And I feel like I'm not even close to be stable enough with it for even trying the 1080, but the way to do it is getting stable with the 720. And that's also how I think about juggling generally. Like, I want to get really solid with the 97531 before trying the DB, and really solid with the, I don't know, with the 7-ball 7-up before ever trying 9. 9 balls generally, or the dream of
9 balls,
again
7-up.
yeah, exactly. But I'm not dreaming about it yet.
I started by asking like, oh, it feels like your training is rigorous. You know, we see that you're not trying to do something out of your level because everything seems so comfortable when you lend them. It's insane to see that like 7-ups 360, which is a trick that takes years. Talking from experience, it takes years and years and years of dreaming and tears and blood and sweat, and you get 30 in the same session. You see that's when you really get to make your base tricks perfect. Like they're so clean too. It's not like you seem to struggle a tiny bit on some of my personal dream tricks. It's what's really impressive.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of this style of juggler that I really like to repeat the same stuff every practice, and get like the feeling of comfortability. I enjoy it a lot. More of
Mm,
the stable stable hard stuff than like mind blowing once in a life
Yeah.
puzzler.
I
So I do this kind of stuff sometimes, but not often.
Okay, I see. And what do you think? I've seen Ofek said that when he landed like one of the hard tricks, like the dream tricks, he would always try to land it twice. Like people always get it the first time and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm done. I have it on video." And then people never touch it again. How do you feel about this kind of methodology for these huge tricks?
I do exactly the same, but not out of thought, out of like, Ofek is good. I want to do the exact same as Ofek told. As like, whatever he says is the Bible for me. Um, so when he told me he's doing it, I started doing it too. But I'm not sure it. I even suggest it.
Hmm.
Um, I'm doing it out of habit. So like, when I get a new trick in practice, I will drop the rest of the practice for the whole practice and like dedicate the whole practice to getting it again. Um, and I do enjoy it a lot, but I feel like most of my friends that tried it at any point got frustrated, and I don't recommend it.
But how often does it work to get twice the trick twice in the same session?
When it's not pirouettes, for me, like most of the times.
Really?
Um, yeah, with pirouettes, sometimes they are way too demanding physically. So like, the adrenaline makes me try it until I'm broken, and then when I'm getting it once, there is an
Oh yeah.
adrenaline drop, and I can't do it at all anymore. But with other less physical stuff, mostly when I get a trick once, I do get it another time.
Because it feels like,
Uh,
you get it once and then like you want to try it and then you're like five attempts deep and you get like no progress. You're like, whatever, I just got it. Like, why do I need to push it again? So I feel like it's easy to give it up. Like you get it once, you're like, you're satisfied. You might as well stop.
yeah. Um, no, it's fair. I can feel that, but I kind of again grew up while Ofek was speaking, so to get a trick, he used to define getting a trick by getting it a couple of times. So I grew up with this terminology, so I'm biased towards, yeah, you have to get it a couple of times to say you got it.
Yes, I think
Uh,
I don't think there's any wrong or right answers. I think it's one way to be ultra disciplined about your juggling, and as long as you're not making yourself tired from juggling, right? If it's too demanding, um, do you still enjoy just the act of juggling and trying to pursue these tricks and always push yourself?
the most I've ever enjoyed juggling, actually.
Yeah, this time of at this time
Um,
of your life, you're at your prime enjoyness. It's not a word, but
yeah,
I just put it there.
um, yeah, it's by far my prime since like I used to juggle once in like a couple times a week, and then I finished my job in the army and took a full year of full time juggling. And I started enjoying the improvement so much. Like I practiced every day. That was my day job kind of, and I enjoyed it a lot. And then I stopped it and started like having an actual job. And since then, I appreciate my juggling time, and it makes me
Mm,
enjoy it even more.
I
So like,
see. And
this is my prime enjoyment of juggling, even that it's not my prime progress.
so, do you think would you be the kind of person that cannot have a artistic job, like their passion as a job? Do you think you'd lose the taste of juggling if you got to do it like every day for a job and you had to do it even though you didn't want to?
Uh, I really don't know. I've never worked of juggling. I can say that when I perform in conventions, I don't enjoy it. So I feel it like makes me give the guess of, yeah,
Hmm,
probably I wouldn't enjoy juggling if I would work it full time, but I haven't tried it.
I see. Yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah, and also something that I'm really curious about. Um, I
Mhm.
talked a lot with some of the jugglers that I met in real life here in the North American juggling community and everything, but you gotta tell me, like, you started from so young in the Israeli juggling convention. You like just randomly you didn't know how to juggle and you got introduced in the huge community, and from
Mhm.
there. Can you tell me more? Like when you started having your own like style of juggling, when you started being I mean, accomplished is a different terminology for everyone. It's different levels for everyone. But when you start feeling accomplished, how did you give back to the community that built you up, and how is the Israeli juggling community nowadays, and how did it evolve?
Okay, yeah. So that's like it have a couple of layers of answers. The first one of how I what I do for the Israeli either or the European juggling community or the I don't know the worldwide one. Um, in the IJC, since I feel like that's the best convention in the world. Maybe I'm a bit biased. Um, I I'm part of the organization team there. I first of all host JuggleFit, which will also be in a later part. Um, and the general like working with whatever setting up the site and venue and the guests coming and talking to the guests. Sometimes I even host the guests. I Last year I had the pleasure of having Esteban and Spencer in my house together.
Wow,
We juggled together and it was super cool. Um,
that's the
Also the first
dream.
time I met them. Yeah, true. And also first time meeting them live and understanding how good they are because like seeing them getting freaks way faster than I imagined possible was super cool for me. Um, so that's about the IJC. For the general community, I feel like first of all, posting and being part of the active community, that's what motivated me when I was young. So I feel like it helps some people anywhere, random people, mostly people I know, I guess, like friends of mine, but also hopefully people I don't know who enjoy watching juggling and get motivated by it. And the JuggleFit, which is kind of the competition I feel like I was missing when I was young. So I feel like building it will give the kind of I don't know the competition the structure of making juggling defined or like
Yeah,
defining program
yeah,
kind of
but
stuff. So
naming the different naming the different tricks, because it's very abstract, so it's hard to really put. Other than sideswap, we don't have many ways of putting words onto the tricks, and it's like huge amount of like what would you you know it's long tricks name just to describe like one simple thing, like it's. But what if you have like your same sequence have like back crosses and overhead and this and this and this, and you got to put like a huge title for the one trick name. And you've been developing one very interesting way of naming some body throws mixed with side swap kind of tricks. And if you want, I'd be very interested to talk about that. And then maybe people seeing this are gonna start applying the new naming system for some of the body throw stuff.
yeah, so actually I think I'm not the first one to do this. I've seen an article from tens of years, 10 years ago of Ben Thompson. I'm not sure. Someone doing exactly the same. Um, and I know Moritz has kind of a similar notation for his own stuff. Um, but for writing juggling tricks, I feel like we have to agree on a way to write this. Um, so I developed not alone, but with a couple of friends, a way we try to write our own, like our own combos and tricks, which kind of just applies how do you throw each throw of the side swap and how do you catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we try to use it for sharing tricks, for competitions, for just randomly on Instagram to make stuff defined.
So can
True.
you explain briefly, even for someone in audio, to maybe try to understand how it could look like?
Yeah, so I'll also send you, I guess, a written version later. But for the audio, we kind of have. Let's imagine you have 645, so 3 letters, and for each digit you have the how to throw it, which could be I don't know overhead, backcross, um, with clubs, it could be the number of spins, let's say double or single or flat front or whatever you do. So how you throw it would be above the letter. So let's say 6 4 5 with the 6 as a single would have a small 1 over the 6. With the 6 as a shoulder would have a small s over the 6. And there is like the defined possible throws, which are all spins and all basic throws. And below the digit would be how would you catch it. So let's say reverse shoulder would be with a ball would be catching the ball behind the back, or with clubs you would have L for lazy. And it gives you the ability to write super complex stuff kind of natively. And I feel like a great example would be Jonah's all 6 4 5 shoulder cut as lazy kind of stuff, which currently you can't really write. Would just be 6 4 5 with a S over the 6, meaning it's a shoulder throw, and L under, meaning it is catched as a lazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it's like just 5 digits describing the whole trick. Um, and it gives you the versatility to go of like change everything there. Like it's a matrix of body throws you can apply to any throw, any side swap, and it gives infinity variations.
And you see, like I was mentioning before having that, you had to say, okay, so the trick is 6 4 5, and then you take this as a this, and then you try to okay, so you got to catch the. So now like your whole sentence is like this huge. Just to explain one trick, or
yeah, and another. So exactly this one, when you have to specify the 6 is cut as this way and thrown this way, and then we had even a bigger problem, like not just a long sentence, but impossible to write sentence, which is more of the, let's say, 6 6 3 with the first 6 doing this variation. So like one of the 6s is this way and the other 6 is the other way, and then you kind of can't write. It's impossible to write it with text. If I want to do 4 4 1 with clubs, where one of the 4s is a flat and the other one is a double, let's say just randomly for a trick, I would write 4 4 1, and over the first 4 I would write a small 2, which means it does 2 spins, and over the second 4 I would write 0, which means it does 0 spins, and then I have 4 double, 4 flat, 1. And writing it with text would be kind of impossible. And you can go over all variations, like, I don't know, more complicated side swaps. Let's say juggle 5 clubs, where every third throw is whatever. Writing it with text would be kind of unreadable.
yeah.
And writing 5 5 5 with notation over the first one would just be like, yeah, every third throw is like, it's easier to read that kind of stuff and to write.
That's true. That's true. Like, let's say you wanted to put a 5 5 and the third one's a back cross. Like a lot of people do that kind of trick where, once every third throw, or like one throw once every. I mean, it's kind of easier to explain. Like if you want to do like back cross, but just with one hand, you just say back cross one sided, or like one sided back cross.
Yeah.
But like people do once every third, and like if you want to mix up, like, okay, the third, and that's the kind of stuff like Spencer would do, the flat front, his famous 5 club routine, like the flat front and the flat front other side double spin, and then the actual right side flat fronts, whatever. Like that would be impossible to see. It was impossible to describe, but on text it's just like 5 5 5 2 2 2, and you just put little letters on top.
Exactly. So it would be like 6 5s. The first one flat front with whatever 2 spins, and the second one flat front with a 0, and the third one flat front with -2 or something, and it would be just super short.
You put minus as the counter spin.
Yes.
Ah, that's interesting. That's good.
I feel like it's the most native way to do it.
Yeah, it feels natural to like, if I saw it too, I'm like, okay, double spin a -2. You think about it, and then you're like, oh yeah, okay, it's just the other way around. This is if it feels it feels natural. Yeah, could you please I'm super curious about your huge project, and I think you you have a lot to share about this. What is your project JuggleFit? And for someone that never heard
Yeah.
about JuggleFit, what is JuggleFit? Tell us about JuggleFit.
Okay, let's start. Um, so JuggleFit, it's competition format. It's a juggling competition. Um, which the main idea behind it, the goal of it is to make a competition which is kind of very different from any existing competitions due to two reasons. One is juggling not being mainstream enough, or let's say like prizes are not enough, so I dedicate time to practicing towards a competition. So when thinking of what would make me participate in competitions, we had, first of all, we wanted to make like fight night super accessible, no pre-reg, no making anything before. And the second one would be um, the style of juggling related to JuggleFit. So JuggleFit is about learning tricks super fast, um, which which have the thought of like to check who is the best juggler, kind of, which with a specific definition of the best. We want to check who learns tricks he never tried before the fastest.
Okay.
So the format goes like that. There is the qualifications, which is 30 minutes that you get. Let's say we compete, me against you. We get the same 15 tricks, and we have 30 minutes. And the first one to, like, the person to succeed more tricks on the 30-minute wins. And you can go over as much as you want, just as many tricks as you can,
Do you
which
get to
makes it
know the tricks in advance, or you got like it
like
pops up and you have 15 minutes?
exactly
Wow,
second up. You
interesting.
have 30 minutes right from getting the tricks until you have to write how many you got of them, which again makes it about versatility and about more of the style of juggling of one shots, more trick shots, and instead of stabilizing kind of easy tricks, which is more um, the stable kind of competitions which exist today. It's about
Mm-hmm.
getting once a super hard trick I've never met before, the fastest.
Mm.
Um, Kind of the antithesis of the already working and super fun competitions that are now, like the German,
But
the WJF
but in
kind
a
of stuff.
good way, in a because you're talking about
Um,
this and it's making me hype. Like the format seems very interesting. It also it just depends the what how would it work with the skill levels, because I feel like many of the jugglers might get some of the tricks like on the first go, and there's like no real challenge if there's like too much of a skill gap.
mhm. That's a good question we're facing. Um, the format in local conventions would be to try to adjust it to everyone. So have like super easy kind of 4-for-1 under the leg tricks for
Mm.
beginners, as well as crazy hard tricks that the very best jugglers will try and might succeed but will struggle with. Um, for bigger conventions, when we have multiple top jugglers, you have to create separate routes for like the
Yeah.
competitive route and the beginner route and the advanced semi-competitive kind of stuff to adjust to everyone. Um, but for small conventions, like one route for everyone kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's the qualifications. Finals is exactly the same, a bit easier tricks, 10 minutes, and you race to get the 10 tricks there as fast as you can. And it's more like the qualifications would be super weird stuff you have to learn while competing, which is weird. The finals will not be as weird. Like we wouldn't put, I don't know, ass sketches kind of stuff in the
Yeah.
finals. It would be more mainstream, but a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and again, it's about versatility of getting weird, not weird mainstream stuff super fast.
Yeah, so it's less luck based. Like if someone
because stuff like the ass catches. There's people that practice them and want to get them for trick shots because they do that kind of tricks. But there's people that never do those, but they do like all the other body throws and body catches. So it feels more fair, like to the person that don't try those random trick shots or those random catches, to like have maybe an easier time on some of the tricks. Even though they're niche, they're still like more understandable and easier to approach for someone that doesn't try some of the
Sure.
extravagant catches.
Yeah, so that's exactly the idea. It's like making the finals weird, but not too weird stuff. So it's not like luck based about what kind of tricks exist there.
Yeah.
Um, that would be the main idea. Like the whole project started a year ago, so it's still under heavy construction and it changes every competition and we get tons of feedback. And it's both like good feedback. I enjoyed it a lot, and this format is shit, this is too long, this doesn't work, this trick is bad, kind of stuff. But I feel like people mostly enjoy the format, and I feel like it works for other competitions as well. Like when I say it's the antithesis of existing competitions, like both are really really good and access different style of juggling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited for participating the first time in the WJF this EJC, and I feel like the WJF is a great format, and I do enjoy it. And I just feel like JuggleFit is a little less demanding and accesses the other style of juggling of trick shots and getting stuff fast and not stabilizing anything.
And I feel like it's something that really, like you say, it's very different than all the competitions existing. Because um when I go to let's say like Turbo, the festival, I go here in Quebec. The competitions like 5 ball endurance, the 6 ball endurance, 7 ball endurance, and you move on to clubs, and it's like, okay, but you gotta practice just endurance. But even if you practice endurance, you might just get unlucky and like lose all the progress you like all the months of training you did just to get one unlucky catch. Versus when you have like many tries and you have minutes to get an actual good, like, I feel like my style of juggling would fit much better with your style of with your format of competition, because that's the kind of tricks I try to do. I try to do like something new every practice session and try to lend it, and like that's the kind of format that I try to aim. I don't really take like 20 minutes to practice endurance of anything. Like I know there's a lot of people that want to get like their longest 5 ball endurance, and like they really want to aim for that, and I think that's really good if you want to practice for competitions with endurance training. But I'd be very 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 interested to get like, to enter your kind of format. Like I feel like it's a some jugglers have my kind of training routine where it's just like I do whatever feels good, and like I try trick shots until I'm tired, and then I move on to the next one, and then move on to the next one. Sometimes it's just like entertaining also to see these kind of trick shots. They're very interesting tricks that you don't get to see often, so it's good to see jugglers lending those in competitions too. So yeah, please try to. I'll try to see if we can bring your format of competition here in Quebec in Canada. I think
Uh,
it could be fun. It could be
yeah,
very
I feel
very
like
interesting.
from what you're saying, I feel like you're exactly the type of juggler that matches JuggleFit the most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so really liking to try new stuff, kind of weird stuff, not aiming only for like the super mainstream. Like my style is way too mainstream for maximizing JuggleFit skill.
Mm.
I'm doing way too much 7-ups, way too much DBs. I'm more of, I feel like I don't know, other formats style. But when I was young, I liked trick shots and weird stuff more. So it matched my style of juggling back then the best,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I structured it. And I feel like you would enjoy it a lot. And they also, if you will be up to just trying, I don't know, the EJC routes, it's a secret,
Mm-hmm.
of course, without letting the people know what tricks there. For the experience, for giving me feedback if the tricks are too annoying, too spatial, too niche, I don't know. I'm up sharing it with you after.
That'd be very interesting. As a yeah, we'll do that in private because I don't want to accidentally leak something before the episode is out or whatever. But yeah, please
Yeah, sure.
in private, I'll get to do this.
Another like sponsoring I will do for JuggleFit. Again, inspired by Fight Night, we want JuggleFit to be super accessible for everyone. So anyone who wants to host a JuggleFit event in a convention worldwide, we're up for it. It would be amazing. And you can reach me by whatever Insta, WhatsApp, whatever format you communicate with, and I'll do everything I can to help you host the event and in your convention.
And if you want to get to learn more, I put in the description that I have the JuggleFit website because I saw you have
Yeah.
you're explaining everything. So if people didn't get to understand on the first go, you have their website and you have plenty of resource there. So yeah, it's gonna be in the first couple rows of description. So go click on that. You'll see the website is well built too. It's out of topic, but it's really nice. I like the way you formatted it.
Thanks.
And as we're slowly getting to the end of the episode, I want to ask you what can we hope for you, and then in 2026.
That's a good question. I hope I'll get like practicing more of the side swaps, 9 balls kind of stuff. I'm starting with now. I hope to make JuggleFit even running more all over the world, like with people I've never met, and get feedback and make it even more structured. I hope to attend conventions I've never attended. I dream of BJC and IJA and some German conventions. I don't know. I haven't attended yet, and I'm open for ideas, of course. I'm really looking for new conventions and new juggling communities. I think that's my main goal for this year, and I hope to enjoy juggling just at least as much as I do now. That's
Yes.
also a main.
Yes, I hope that for you. I was very glad to hear even someone that technically skilled, because I know there's a lot of people that put pressure and end up not really liking the act of juggling anymore because it feels like such a homework to keep a level. I'm very glad to see you still have the the little spark. There you have
Yeah,
the fire inside you. It's good.
I
And
I tend to enjoy juggling most of my career. Let's say the term career is weird for me, but most of it. And I sometimes, of course, as any pro with anything, I do have times I don't enjoy it. But I think the longest I ever didn't enjoy juggling was like a month. I didn't have a longer period of like I have to do it. Fuck.
yeah. Yeah.
Which is lucky me, I guess.
I think it's also arguably it's fine and it's kind of necessary if you it feels like you don't need to have a toxic relationship with your juggling. Like if you're always tired of juggling and you're forcing yourself to do it, you might just lose the passion long term. So you just listen to your needs and like just don't go if you don't feel like it, and like do a smaller practice session. Just get a couple of tricks and then be done and whatever if you're tired, because juggling is always there. It's not gonna go like you, as long as you don't lose your props, you still have a good time. You have a good chance of picking them up back again and having fun again. Yeah. And yeah, what can we expect from you in the near future?
Yeah, so again, same JuggleFit stuff, convention stuff, EJC. I'm super excited for it. Participating first time in the WJF will be exciting, and in the numbers league also will be exciting. And I'm really waiting to see how it works and what these competitions are and what they bring. Aiming for the DB's world record, of course. That's the most active goal, not the biggest one, but the one I'm working on the most. I think that's it for now. stuff I feel like comfortable saying. I don't feel will pressure me to I have to get stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a great agenda. I think it's very exciting agenda. You don't have to add anything new. Just what you told me was it's a lot of stuff. You have a lot on your plate, and I'm excited to see that. I'll follow your run through the WJF. That'd be interesting as your first year entering. I think
Yeah.
arguably you might be one of the highest level first entry of all time. Like
Big
you're
ball.
well, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like you're already at the top. You enter and you probably like you have a great chance at getting number one in balls just in general.
Let's see
So
the format. I don't even really know how it works and how the scoring works. But
it's true. The WGF have a very unique scoring. It's very interesting.
yeah.
I saw like the last year they explained a tiny bit how they scored and like I looked at the sheet explaining like how you could build your sequence and what gives what points and whatever, and it seemed like very set up rules and I hope your juggling style fits that because sometimes some juggling style might not fit the juggle. I mean, it would fit, but it's harder to get points if you're not like a body throw juggler kind of stuff. So
Let's see. Yeah, it will be interesting. Also, another advisory for JuggleFit. Um, you don't have to prepare anything, and there is not any scoring system. It's a race,
that's
which
true.
makes it very easy to understand.
That's very true. But what if the person gets it like on the first time? Is there any bonus or any score thing, or is it actually just a race?
Just a
Just
race.
a cool,
Just a race.
interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was I really like the episode. I think we talked about very interesting stuff. Please, everyone, go look at just under Tamu's camera. There's his Instagram handle. Go look at some of the stuff, please. If you didn't see Tamuz juggle before, please go look, and I'll put all the links in the description. So go check out Tamuz socials. Thank you, Tamuz, for being on the podcast.
Thank you for hosting me. Thank you so much for it,
And
and really appreciate running the podcast and the format and the whole project.
thank you very much. It means a lot, and I hope for everyone watching that you'll have fun juggling. See, that's my outro. I always say, bye everyone, have fun juggling, but be like Tamuz, have fun juggling. Have fun juggling. You know what I mean? All right. Thank you everyone for watching this far, and again, thank you Tamuz for being on the episode and giving me some of your time.
Thank you.
Ciao.